Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Schedule Rundown. I'm Dave Press, and today I'll be going over the Houston Texans 2013 NFL schedule. It's been a while since I did the schedule rundown, so let's dive right in. Week 1 there on Monday Night Football, second game against the Chargers in San Diego. And I think the Texans are going to pull this one out here, and I really not a big fan of the Chargers here this season. I mean, Philip Rivers, he's been on the decline. We've seen what Ryan Matthews can do. He's not real good. I mean, maybe the addition of Danny Woodhead's going to help, but not too much. Denario Alexander just tore his ACL a few days back. So I don't think the things are looking good down there in San Diego on their offense. So I'm going to give this win here to the Texans. Week 2, they're home against the Titans, division rival. Another one here, in my opinion. If they can stop Chris Johnson's with they have a good defense to do that. I mean, J.J. Watt, one of the best defensive ends, probably the best defensive end in the league. Brian Cushing, a great middle linebacker. So if they can stop Chris Johnson, who's looked good throughout his first week of preseason, averaging 30 yards a carry on 2 attempts, 58-yard touchdown run though. So clearly not going to stay like that, but still, Chris Johnson. So if they can just stop him, they really shouldn't have a problem shutting down their receiving game. Kenny Britt will get shut down by Jonathan Joseph if all goes well. So I think week 2 can go to the Texans as well. Week 3 at the reigning Super Bowl champion Ravens. I think this is going to be another win here for the Texans here. The Ravens lost a lot of pieces. They added a lot of pieces, but I don't think Joe Flacco is going to play like he played in the playoffs last year. Ray Rice is a great running back. They lost Anquan Bolden, who's a huge piece of their team. So Ray Rice is going to do some stuff. Bernard Pierce, there's been a lot of talk about him. But Joseph can cover Torrey Smith. And Jacoby Jones, I don't know if he's a real good number 2 receiver. I don't think he's ready for that position yet. He's mostly a returner, and that's why everyone knows his name. But, well, and what he did in the playoffs last year, in the Super Bowl last year. But still, they just signed Brandon Stokely, like a 10-year veteran. He won the Super Bowl with the Ravens in 2000 to beat the Giants. And I don't think he'll play too much of a factor here. It'll be interesting to see what he does. But I like their defense this year, even though Ray Lewis is gone and Donnell Ellerby. They added some good pieces. They got Ellis Dumerville now. So I mean, their defense looks just as good, but still, I mean, Arian Foster's the second best running back in the league, just behind Peterson. Well, he's debatably the second best, but in my opinion, yeah, he still is. And they have a veteran receiver in Andre Johnson who still produced, clearly, by seeing what he did last year. And they got a new guy with DeAndre Hopkins. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do. And Matt Schaub, I think he's going to have a good year this year, so I'll give that win to the Texans. Week 4 against the Seahawks. This one's at home. I think it's going to be a loss here for the Texans, the first loss of the year. The Seahawks I really like this year. I mean, they lost Percy Harvin now with his injury, so that's going to put him out till I think it's like December or something maybe. So it's going to be it's going to be irrelevant in this game anyway. So I still don't think that's really going to matter. Marshawn Lynch is a great running back. He's going to do some damage here, and Russell Wilson's a very good quarterback. He's got a year under his belt now. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do in this year. But the Seahawks have maybe the best defense in the league, so that'll be a problem for the Texans offense. So I'll give that win here to the Seahawks. Week 5 at the 49ers, a good game, but I think it's going to be a loss here. Colin Kaepernick, people are saying if he was just a one-hit wonder and isn't going to do good this year, but I think he is. I think what he showed last year is for real. And even if he doesn't, I mean, Alex Smith brought that team to the NFC Championship game. He has the best he is, in my opinion, the best D. Seahawks are the second best to me. The best defense behind to help him out there. So it's really not too much of a problem. They have the best front seven, clearly with the best linebacking core with Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, Alden Smith, and what's the other guy's name? I always forget his name. Ahmad Brooks and Justin Smith on the line. So I mean, I really like that 49ers defense. And now they just got Nnamdi Asomugha, the corner to go along with Carlos Rogers. So yeah, I'll give that win to the 49ers. Week 6 against the Rams. I think this one is going to be another win here. We can bring them to 4-2 after this. The Rams, I think, are going to do good, and they could surprise some teams this year. but not against the Texans. I think the Texans are too dominant of a team, and people don't realize what they have done over the past few years. The Texans, I mean, they haven't really produced in the playoffs. They've played the Bengals week 1 for the past 2 years, but still, I do like what they have done over the past few years. They finished 12-4 last year, so I mean, still, I definitely think the Texans are going to be good. They're actually my Super Bowl pick. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. So yeah, I have them beating the Rams. Week 7, at the Chiefs. This is going to be an alright game. I mean, I can see the Chiefs squeezing into the playoffs here as a wild card, so this could be key win to them, see if they can do this, but I don't think they will be able to. Alex Smith, it's an upgrade over Matt Castle, but they still got to do better. I mean, we've seen Alex Smith be successful, but that's with the best defense in the league. So I mean, we'll see what he can do with the Chiefs. I mean, and Jamal Charles there, he's one of the best running backs in the league, definitely a top 5 in my opinion. He's going to be, I'd probably say 4. I go Peterson, Foster, maybe even 3. McCoy's up there, Spiller's up there. But still, I don't think they'll be able to beat the Chiefs or be able to beat the Texans here. So week 8 is their bye week, and that brings them to 5-2 record. Looks good. Most likely going to be a playoff team or Super Bowl team. And let's go over to week 9 against the Colts. I think this is going to be another win here. Andrew Luck had a great year last year, but I think they're going to take a step back from what they did last year. I mean, they helped out their pass blocking by getting Ahmad Bradshaw, who should help out that team. But it depends if he can even stay on the field. He's always battled foot injuries, but he doesn't really miss a lot of games. He'll miss a lot of practices, but games he tends to always be out there for. So, I mean, I don't know. I still don't think they'll be able to beat the Texans here, so I'll give the win to the Texans. Week 10 at the Cardinals. Good game. Maybe even an upset loss, but I'm going to give it to the Texans here. Carson Palmer's now in Arizona, so that's at least a halfway decent QB than what they had last year. They had Kevin Cobb, John Skelton, and Ryan Lindley all starting for a portion of the season. That's just, that's terrible. And now if they could actually feed Larry Fitzgerald, their defense looked good at the beginning of the year last year before they collapsed. They were 4-0, and they just lost every game except for one down the stretch. So they went 1-10 in the last 11 games. So, I mean, wait, was it 1-10? 1-11 on the last 11 games. Yeah, 1-11, and that's just terrible. But I think they can get it back. They have a good defense, like I just mentioned, and now their offense should be getting better. They got Rashard Mendenhall, who was very productive for the Steelers 2 years ago before he was battling injuries last year. So I'm still going to give it here to the Texans. The Texans are just the Cardinals are an up and coming team, and the Texans are right here right now. Foster's going to be dominant this season, maybe even break some records. He had one of his best seasons of his career last year, but he was overshined by Peterson. So I still really like Foster, and it's going to be interesting to see what he can do this year. Week 11, it's home against the Raiders. I think this is an easy win here. The Raiders, in my opinion, are the worst team, or one of the worst teams in the league, maybe second behind the Jaguars or something. But their defense just needs help. They got DJ Hayden, 11th overall in the draft, or was it 12th? I think it was 12th overall. No, it was 11th, whatever. It doesn't really matter. In the draft, and that's going to help out, but still, their front seven really needs work. So until they can fix all that, they don't even have a starting quarterback either. They have a running back who's injury prone. Until they can fix all that, I'll give it to the Texans. So how would I give the record right now after 11 is 8-2. Still looking even better than it looked before. Week 12 against the Jags. This is a easy win here. I mean, if Blaine Gabbert starts, definitely easy. I prefer Chad Henne for the Jags. He's the only guy who actually performed good last year. And if MJD can get back, I mean, that's gonna make it a little more interesting. Give the Jaguars some more hope, but I don't know if he can bounce back to his the perfect form that he's been in over the past few years, or a few years ago, when he led the league in rushing. So I'll give the loss to the Jags, the win to the Texans, making them 10-2 after Wait, no, 9-2 after week 12. Week 13, I'll say a loss. It's against the Patriots on December 1st. I think even with the loss of Wes Welker and Brandon Lloyd, Tom Brady's still going to be Tom Brady. He's one of the best QBs in league history. In the running game looks dynamic, and their defense is just on the uprise. I think they can come in and beat the Texans here to knock the Texans to 9-3. Week 14, it is another game against the Jaguars, so they basically play back to back here, and I don't know if how great this game's gonna be, but another one here in my opinion to the Texans. Still, the Jaguars, I don't think they're gonna be able to put up a fight this year. Maybe get out 2-3 wins, but I'm doing that video right after I do this one, so I mean we'll see how it turns out, but I don't see it for the Jags. All right, so that's a win for the Texans. Week 15 against the Colts. I think this is going to be another win. I think they'll sweep the Colts here. Like I said, they're going to take a step back, and they did improve a bit. They got some key pieces, but they also lost some, and the Texans, I think, are just too good for the Colts to stop. Week 16 against the Broncos. I think this is going to be a loss here. Peyton Manning's one of the best QBs in the league, maybe the best. In my opinion, it's Aaron Rodgers, but one of the best in history as well. And now he's got the best receiving core in the league with Wes Welker, Demaryius Thomas, and Eric Decker. They have a good running back duo now with Ronnie Hillman and Monty Ball. And their defense is just looking great. I don't think the Texans will be able to put up with this. So I'll give that a loss, making them 11-4 right now. In Week 17, playing in Tennessee, I don't think it's going to matter. I think the Texans are going to be a good team this year, but not enough to beat the the Titans are going to be a good team this year, but not good enough to beat the Texans. I like what the Titans have done. They really helped out their offensive line. It's going to help their two running backs, Chris Johnson and Sean Green, but I don't think that's going to matter. And I'll give that win to the Texans, finishing them off this season with a 12-4 record. So that's playoff, in my opinion. So that'll do it for this edition of Schedule Rundown. I'll be back next with the Jaguars video. See what happens with that one. But for now, follow me on Twitter at DaveCrushSports, and follow Louie on Twitter at DB Sports Talk. He's doing the other half of the league. If you want to hear that, go to our YouTube page, which you probably already are at right now. So for now, I guess we can see you later.